Great grand rising. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Ilona Sanders, and welcome to day number 5 of the early morning empowerment. First word prophetic gathering. We are so happy and so thankful that we have this wonderful opportunity to be here today. With that being said, come on in, give me a great grand rising. Let me know that you're here. If you're watching on YouTube, we can see your comments. Come on and make a comment. And with that being said, on Facebook, I'm going to pull up my phone so I can interact with you guys today. Come on, we're at day number 5. We're at the place of change. We're at the place of grace for change. Somebody write that down and let's get activated, all right? With that being said, we sit with our feet flat, back straight, hand on heart, hand on core, and we breathe. And exhale. Relax. Bring all your focus and attention right here, right now to this sacred moment. This moment of power. This is an extraordinarily powerful moment. Deep breath in and exhale. Turn the focus and attention inward to the rich inner life where there is infinite power, infinite potential. Anything that you can ask, seek, knock for, everything opens up from within. Last deep breath in and exhale. All right, lovelies, come on. Let's fire off a round of gratitude for about 30 seconds. What are you thankful for today? What are you grateful for today? And it goes without saying, we're so thankful and grateful for another day, for another opportunity, for being here. We're so thankful and grateful for life, for health, for strength. That goes without saying. What else are you grateful for? I'm so grateful for my grand kings and queens. Oh, I love my grand kings and queens. Thankful and grateful. Watch this. For everything that we've lived through up to this moment, everything that we've lived through. All right, so with that being said, day 5 of the first word prophetic releases, and I want to talk to you on a very personal level today about really activating your personal power. So we've been leading up to this all week, right? So go back and listen to the tapes and begin to glean. And on Sunday, we will be gathering at the 10 a.m. hour like I usually do on Sunday. I'm going to bring everything together, make sure I laid everything down, but I'm also very concerned that you have something in your hand. And there's so many things that I just cannot say freely and openly on these platforms. They will strike you and all of that. So, but that's why you have to come on into the community so you can get it raw, unfiltered, and you will have that support. So listen, beloved, as we are in this universal 8 year that represents power, it represents the supernatural, it represents transformation. It represents victory. It's all about you. Watch this. So this is what I like to do, to bring all the pieces together, right? Start giving you something like in a one-word sentence that you can hold on to. All of you should have an affirmation for the year. You should have something that I teach in my community is an intentional anchor. Something that when you feel yourself going off course, you feel yourself getting distracted, it anchors you. It's intentional. You're doing it because it's intentional, and you want to pull that thing in, pull it in so that you come back to center, you come back to focus. So I want you to hear me. And I know you've been hearing things off and on all the time, right? All the time you hear things off and on. But I want you to really be able to understand the power of what's happening, the power that you are possessing. Now I want you to write that down. Write that down. I have power. And this is the year you're going to use your power. And I understand what it's like. I understand what it's like. Great Grand Rising, Lisa, thanks for joining us live, right? I understand what it's like not to come into your full power. But this is the thing that I feel is the crossover for today. The thing that is going to be activated and changed for today is that the things that you were afraid to do before, that fear will dissipate this year. You will be able to step over it. And when I say dissipate, you have to step over it in order for it to dissipate. I have seen this happen so many times, beloved. Watch this. And this is what when I learned that what they were saying in success circles was true. That everything that you want, everything that you desire is on the other side of the fear. And the fear is just energy that's trapped in your cells, trapped in your body. It's an energetic response. And so one of the things that I'm focusing on this year is how to really move past in even a greater way and take greater steps, right? Because I've learned that that's just really energy that's stored in the body, trapped in the body, and it's reactive. It's reactive to when the ego mind feels that you're going to be threatened, when it feels that you're going to make a change. As a spiritual success mentor and bringing people into private mentoring and private coaching, I've seen it all. But one thing I want you to know, take this with you. Anytime you get that resistance, and the ego mind will always tell you, you don't have enough time to do it. This is not the right time to do it. You need to write this down. You don't have enough money. You don't have permission. And it's always an either or, especially when it comes to the finances. It'll tell you don't have enough money, and you don't have enough money because you have to do A, B, C, and D. But in our community, and as I learned from my mentor as well, we learn to develop a both and mindset. A both and mindset, meaning that when the ego mind tries to tell you, oh, you can't do this, you can't invest in yourself for that, you can't do that because you have all of this to do. And it's not saying that that's not true. You do have all of that to do. It'll tell you you can't do it. Watch this. And this is what I've learned. You can't do it because, you have to get this done. But I want to give you this. When it really comes to your soul's ascension and your soul's elevation, right? Your spirit elevation, learn to ask, how can I do both? How can I do this and do that, right? And so I think somebody was saying, I saw something a couple of years ago where somebody was saying, and is a better word to use rather than but, right? So we would say, I want to do A, but instead we want to say, I want to do A and I'm going to do B. You don't have to know how. This wasn't even in my notes for today, right? You don't have to know how. You just have to follow guidance. So what I'm doing today is, because I know we only have 2 more days here, I'm trying to set you up so that you have some tools that you could start using right away and start winning, right? And start winning. Because the thing that helps me the most, and the things that always bless me the most, right? I love hearing success stories and hearing, that people change their life, change their circumstance. But you know what blesses me more than that? I want to know where you come from. I want to know the pitfalls. I want to know the struggles. I want to know, what did you have to do to get out, right? Hey, Taliba, I've been praying for you all this week. I've been seeing you and just taking a moment. Let me say, this is my beautiful, beautiful niece, right? That we have not met since I've been an adult and she's been an adult. But I'm going to get emotional. I've just been stopping and scrolling and looking at you and just blessing you and thanking God for you, thanking God for your life, for your mom, Really and truly, this week I have just been really there with you guys, and it's so good to see you today. Reese, good to see you. Lethea Smith, good to see you. Yes, beloved, listen, I want to set you up so that you have tools this week, to start using so that you can start winning, right? Because the thing that's going to help you the most is not only somebody say, here's a blueprint. I followed that thing in the early, very early 2000s when we're chasing shiny. Here's the blueprint. Just do that and you're going to get this result. And I would travel all around the country, going to conferences, going to this, going to that. I would buy all the material. I mean, spending boatloads of money, right? Investing in myself. I always invested in myself to get all of that stuff home, be pumped and be excited, right? Start going through it. And it's like somebody pulled the plug. Like I was disconnected. Y'all remember in the old days, I'm going back into the 80s, right? I'm dating myself, right? When we would have these powerful revivals and evangelists would come to town. And this is even going back to the 70s, really. And just feeling so lost when the revival was over, when the revivalists left town, because we felt like, oh no, it's over and they're taking God with them. That is not the intention of God, beloved. The intention of God is for you to be in environments like that and be able to have something that is self-sustaining. So what I discovered, this is how I got in the whole deliverance transformational work, is because I understood that with all of that information, there was something missing and I could not implement it on my own, because I was not aware of what was hidden in me. That's why there's a teaching in my community, how to discover and release unconscious blocks, right? There were things going on in me unconsciously that I would go so far and everything in me would stop me. I didn't realize, watch this, I didn't realize that I was doing the sabotaging, because we were trained, watch this, we were trained to always look out at other things, look at people around. I remember this so well, even as in the early days of a senior pastor, I remember, because we were trained in this kind of mindset to always look out there, when things would go wrong and things wasn't flowing right, immediately, y'all better talk back to me. You start looking out and looking around you to see who's doing what. That is such a powerless place to be, beloved, because right away, you are giving your power over to outside forces, outside entity. Am I saying that that's not real? No, I'm not saying that. Am I saying that people don't have evil intentions? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we have unconsciously trained ourselves how to connect to that, link into that by always looking to see who's doing what, who's saying what, where's the witch, where's the warlock, where's all of that. But we've learned and we've grown and we realize that there are things within us that stops us, right? Even though you know that there are things that you're afraid of and things that you're fearful of, you still don't know what to do about it, and then it gets masked. It gets masked in a way that you think it's because of something. Oh, it's because of this, it's because of that, it's because of this, because of that. But really and truly, I want you to hear this, because this is the power that we're stepping into, because everything is set up this year and we're prophesying from 24 to 2030, really from 2020 to 2030, right? But y'all got to go back and get the rest that we laid down coming up, right? Everything is set up, but you have to come from mindset, misery. Y'all heard me talk about this if you've been following me. That's the state that most people are in the mindset misery, where you have no control over the incessant chatter, all the stuff that pops up in your mind, all the things that come to plague you, all the things that talk you out of your success, your victory, your next step. That's mindset misery. Always thinking about a tragedy, always thinking about a what if, always blaming. But we learn how to move from that with the proper tools and the proper discipline, how to come into mindset management. This is when you learn yourself. You become so aware of yourself that you learn how to manage yourself. But watch this, beloved, because even getting stuck there is a trap, right? Hey, Jewel Falls, well, thanks for joining us live today. You don't even want to get stuck there, because what will happen, the ego mind is always playing catch up, right? And when you fizzle out and you plateau, even in a level of mindset management, then what happens is that the lower level stuff starts trying to creep back in. You'll find yourself, so you have to always be increasing. Somebody write back and talk to me, says about increase. Write these words down: improvement. All of this is non-condemning, right? When we say improvement, that's a better word than saying that, I got to do better. I got to make myself better. Gotta, have to, need to. We take all of that out of our vocabulary, right? Improvement, increase. Somebody write that down and talk back to me. This is the year. Everything is set up. We are in this portal of a divine number 8, universal number 8. Everything in the number 8 is about progress, prosperity, success, victory, expansion, elevation. Write these words down, because see, you just don't want to hear this. Write it down. And then when we're done, you're going to listen to everything I say, but then you're going to listen to your spirit. You're going to listen to the voice of the Holy Spirit within, right? Your heart, whatever language works. You're going to listen to that, and then you're going to see what stands out and what resonates. What is the Spirit telling you to hold on to? And then you want to keep it before your eyes, right? This is what sacred text means when it says keep the word before your eyes. You want to keep it before your eyes. This is how you're going to start transforming, right? So, there was a saying in the success community, this is not about hocus pocus, it's all about focus. Because when you learn to focus, you learn to channel, direct, project your power, your energy, your spirit, whatever language works for you. You learn how to project that based on what's going on inwardly, because you've learned to manage your mindset. And when you learn to manage your mindset, then you come into mindset mastery, where you get to a place, beloved, where certain things don't even come to your mind anymore, certain things you don't struggle with anymore, certain things you don't question anymore. You don't doubt anymore. And this is how you know that you are tapping into mindset mastery, because you start changing the way you feel, think, and believe about yourself. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. I'm going to go in and get those comments too. Thank you, Lisa. It's all about increase, all about increase, all about improving. So I feel this very strongly today, and I want to use all of my prophetic apostolic grace for those of you that understand that language, and to lift you, to bring you up, and to pull you. But we don't want to stop there, beloved. We don't want to stop there, because you know the old saying, I want you to hear. When I say hear, I want you to hear with that inner ear. I want you to hear the voice of the Spirit. When I say listen to me, I want you to hear this. What I'm really saying is, he that have an ear to hear, let them hear what Spirit is saying. What Spirit is saying, what comes from the heart will reach the heart. But if you always up in your head trying to filter, understand, analyze everything, you're shutting down and short-circuiting the power of the heart, the power of the Holy Spirit to relay to you what needs to be said, right? So that's why I would always say, beloved, more is caught than taught. Even in our community, when there are people that can't show up live, right? I would tell them, put it on, turn it on mute, because the vibrational frequency of what's being said, your spirit can hear it. Just because you have something on mute doesn't mean the vibrational frequency is not there. And if the frequency is there, then what is that? That's the language of the subconscious. It's the language of angels, the language of God, the language of the universe. It is still there. More is caught than taught. That is why we say this. And this is what we're doing in a nutshell, beloved. You know the old saying, if you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for one day, right? So you take him, you give him a fish, right? I'm sorry, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for one day. So I'm giving you a fish today, right? You'll eat for one day. Man, that was good. Oh, yeah, that was good. Man, that was the best fish I ever ate. But if I don't teach you how to fish, you can't eat for a lifetime. And that is what I'm about. I'm about teaching you how to develop yourself in such a way that no matter where you go, no matter what the condition is, no matter what the circumstance is, you can still win, right? When you look at people in the world, and I know that old religious mindset used to tell us that they was working for the devil. No, they understood the power of how God created these bodies, right? And we're all created the same. He reigned on the just as well as the unjust. The sun shine on the just as well as the unjust. Universal spiritual law that God has put into the cosmos will work for anyone that works it. And they understood how to work it, and they told you it was evil. It was witchcraft, right? But we are awake now. And they were able to, that's why you see people. And when I didn't know this, I didn't understand how people would do it. And I would hear them say, I was wealthy, and you knew that they were wealthy, operating in tens and hundreds of millions of dollars, and then something happened in their life and they say they were broke and they couldn't buy this and they couldn't do that. But then when you turn around again, they say, I got my wealth back. I got my power back. I got my ministry back, whatever it was. And I used to sit and marvel. And I used to say, how did they do that? How did they do that? Because we didn't get the how to on a Sunday morning. They just told us to believe, have faith, and every week we looking for a new word because our ears was, if we just wanted to hear something. My old bishop, bless his soul, Bishop Herbert Daughtry in Brooklyn, used to say, we're not giving you a gospel this morning. We're not going to just give you a pill to put you back to sleep. Now, I want you to understand what I'm saying. We're thankful and grateful for our experience, right? What we're doing now is rightly dividing, right? We're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but we're rightly dividing what works and what doesn't, right? And so thank God we would have a place to go and we can get a release, and, the pressure valve will come off and we would be, transported into another dimension, and we would dance and we would sing and we would shout and we would get joy. Watch this. There's nothing wrong with that. But we were not properly equipped how to handle ourselves once we left that environment. That's why they kept us coming. That's why there was always a service. I mean, revival upon revival upon revival, special days, they kept us coming. Because we thought that power was only there in that environment. But then we have to learn how to create that environment for ourselves. Y'all don't want to talk to me now. Is there a place for that? Yes. But God never intended for you to be controlled, manipulated, spiritually abused, guilt tripped, right? So they would tell us we had to have faith, we had to believe, and all of that was true. But they weren't very good at teaching us how do we handle. They would just say, don't doubt God, believe God, da, 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 da. But there was so much more lacking. And that's what I discovered when I started traveling, because I was a seeker for truth, seeker for improvement. How can I get better? How can I improve? And I'm going all around the country, all the conferences, all this, that. Things started to shift for me big time, because I was in full-time ministry, teaching, preaching. If you're in my community, you understand, because we teach all about the shadow self, the God self, and all of that. You could do a lot of things in your shadow self, right? But when I realized, as a senior pastor, as a leader, as a deliverance minister, something was missing. And that's when God got my attention, in the early 2000s, and things started to shift. Y'all heard me tell the story about my philosophy about deliverance, because back then, thank God for the door, all of it's valuable. I had to come through all of that to get here. When God got my attention, the God within me, I could hear my own heart, my own spirit saying, something's wrong. As I was traveling around the country, preaching, teaching, ministering, I realized people could get a breakthrough, but they couldn't keep one. They can break free, but they couldn't stay free. And that's when things started changing for me, right? That was the words I heard. And so I started on this whole thing, break free, stay free. And that's when I understood my philosophy of deliverance had to change. That the casting out of a devil, laying hands, all of that is good. That's just 1/3. And then he said, there's 2/3. You got to go on now. You got to go on now from just identifying the spirit, lower level energy, whatever language works for you, calling it out. You got to bring them into empowerment. This is the personal and spiritual development that I'm all about in the Spiritual Success Life community. Go on to empowerment and then go on to destiny fulfillment, because we're all here. We're all here with purpose. We're all here with special assignments. And in my community, it's all about building you up as a specialist. We want you to be a specialist. We want you to be a master in your field, right? Just like in medicine, you have general practitioners, you have internal medicine, right? But then you have your specialists. We want you to find that thing that you came here to do and become a master at it. Accept it, embrace it, see it as something wonderful. So what am I doing today? Do you notice how, I'm not focusing so much on thus saith the Lord and this is going to happen and that's going to happen, although I laid that down and I'm going to bring that all together over the next couple of days. What am I doing? Going into my area of expertise of how to help you. This is why in my community, and I want to invite you all to come and join us, right? I work no less than 6 months, right? We're enrolling now. I work no less than 6 months. Really, I love working for 12 months. Invest in yourself for a year, because you know what I find out? Time goes by so quickly. And you need that space to start identifying yourself. That's why the first step on our spiritual success journey is awareness. We step into that dimension that has like 7 levels to it, because it takes time for you to understand your habits, your patterns, your cycles, your pitfalls, to see yourself and then take on the proper tools and start building new muscle, reprogramming the brain, creating new neural pathways in the brain, getting different hormonal responses. It all works together. It's not about somebody just laying hands, blowing on you, spinning around. Y'all know it, because if that was the case, you would have been further along than now. Y'all talk back to me. Hey, Jennifer, thanks. You know I've been thinking about you. Thanks for joining us live, right? So as we culminate with this, right? And here's the URL. You can go and look that up and see what that's all about. I went in, I shaved some more off, right? So that you all could come in. Let's get this done this year, beloved. Let's get it done. Stop putting you on the back burner, putting you on the back shelf. All you're going to get is listen, a non-criticizing, non-judgmental, thinking, creative partner to walk with you, so that we start co-creating, so that all the things, now it's the ego mind that tells you, oh, you don't need to do that, you could do it by yourself, just watch YouTube videos, and there's a lot of information out there. But what we do is that we specialize. As a specialist, we zero in on what's specific to you. What is your Achilles heel? How do you stop yourself? What is all the goodness and the essence of everything that God put in you? How to start acknowledging that, embracing that, activating that, advancing that, and get so solid in that no matter where you go, no matter what happens, you still can live. You still can thrive. You still can go, right? So go to that URL, check that out. And we're going to get started next week. And it's not a thing where you have to take lessons and do all this homework. And it's not that. This is a living, organic, transformative work. It's about taking the time to focus on you and transform. And this is the time of year, beloved, where we do sow seed. I ask you to sow seed, right? And we want you to sow that $89 or $98 seed wherever you feel good to land, because we want to still come back to that universal number 8. And all this does is help me do what I do. It helps me with equipment, with programming. I want to hire a team and staff this year. It all helps me do that and serve you better. So those are the many ways that you can sow, that you can give. The website, you could go through PayPal, Cash App, Zelle. It's all there for you. Beloved, take a good healing deep breath in and exhale. Screenshot that so you can have it, okay? Listen, beloved, 2 more days in here, and I'm feeling something. Let's come together. Let's make this year really, really, really count. Some of you are struggling with physical issues, with your health. That has been an impediment, and that is a serious thing. I understand what happens when the body doesn't work and function properly, but we want to put proper focus and emphasis on that this year so that we are well. I'm doing the same thing, walking myself back from that cliff, walking back, returning, hitting that reset button, and I want to be in readiness for the future. And the future is now. Somebody write that down. The future is now. So let's get ready, beloved. Let's do this. And I'm going to be so happy, so thrilled. Come on in. You only have a few more days. Go to that URL. Come on, because I took some more off of there so that I can meet you, but that is only going to be good until Monday. So make the action, make the step. Come on, move quickly. You're taking too much time. Act. Make the decision and come on in. We will make the decision right. Okay? All right, lovelies. I'm going to release you with many blessings for the rest of your day. Bye-bye.